People have questions right before, we talked about that anxiety of making a purchase, especially, if it's more than $20, you might put it all in there and, oh crap, am I going to be able to get it by this date? Or, does this size really going to fit me? I don't want to go through it. Does this necklace run big, or how long is it? Those kinds of questions are the ones that cause people to jump out of the shopping cart. So if there's someone there to answer that question and close them, they're not going to jump.
Eric Kades, welcome to the ROI Online Podcast.
Amazing, right?
We're talking with Eric Kades. He's the CEO of TextChat.com. It's a great technology to help you connect your clients, your potential customers with humans. Eric, so what I'm curious about is in the application of this for, the businesses, just draw a picture of an example. Like, let's say I'm a plumber and I want to implement your technology. What does it look like, this solution?
Sure. It really requires no training. The hardest part of it is you have to put a line of code that we give you onto your website. Now, we're already integrated into Shopify. We're an app in the Shopify App Store. So if you're an e-commerce store, you don't have to integrate any software. You just go in, you answer a few questions, click a button, and this is live on your website. But if you're a plumber and you're not on Shopify, you are going to have your web designer or whoever's handling your website install that line of code for you. We take it a step further, where if you don't have that person accessible, as long as we have a team of developers, as long as we can get access to your website, we'll install the code for you. From that point, you just have to be able to receive a text message. If you can receive a text message, you can then chat with your people via live chat in real time. Because,
oh my gosh,
yeah, that's it. If you could text with your friends, you can do text chat, and you get a text message when someone's live chatting, not entering their phone number, just live chatting. You click on a link in that text message, and you're in a two-way conversation with the person. Like I said, I answer them when I'm talking on the phone.
So the person that's on your website and types in the question, they have not given you their phone number.
Nope. They're live chatting. We're just using the text message notification as the differentiator, because you don't get those app notifications and then you lose a customer because you told them you were going to speak to them live and then you gave them nothing. And that text message notification has really been the game changer for all of our businesses that use it.
So when you talk about Shopify, the problem with having a shopping cart is that people abandon the shopping experience at some way in, because there's something they're not clear on. And so they go, forget it. I'm going to go on and do something else. And this is like a beautiful thing to reduce cart abandonment, right?
100%. I can't tell you how many stories I get weekly of this customer came in. This is someone that sells a couple $1,000. It's called Airlift, and it's kind of like a new kind of forklift.
Yeah.
Someone came in from Australia and they were thinking about buying it, weren't sure if they were going to buy it because they were worried about the shipping costs. And my customer got the text chat, answered his questions, made him comfortable that they're not going to get crushed on shipping. This guy then got his Airlift, went on Instagram, promoted his Airlift. All these other contractors in his area saw the Instagram. This company now is opening a division in Australia, and it all started with that text chat because a guy was worried about shipping.
So why is shopping cart abandonment a problem for retailers?
Because people have questions right before, we talked about that anxiety of making a purchase, especially, if it's more than $20, you might put it all in there and, oh, crap, am I going to be able to get it by this date? Or, does this size really going to fit me? I don't want to go through it. Does this necklace run big, or how long is it? Those kinds of questions are the ones that cause people to jump out of the shopping cart. So if there's someone there to answer that question and close them, they're not going to jump.
So you're a data man. What is the cart abandonment rate?
The cart abandonment rate in general on businesses, or I got to be honest with you, I don't have that statistic off of the top of my head. I know it's in the high 80%, something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's a huge problem on Shopify, and it's interesting. I know it's a huge problem on Shopify alone. And look, Amazon's winning because it's a one-click purchase. They have 200 million of our credit cards in their Amazon Prime. And so when you go to Amazon, you know what you're getting, you know when it's going to get delivered, and you push a button and boom, you get it. When you're a small business trying to compete with Amazon and someone has a lot of questions and they don't really know you and they're putting in their personal credit card information and you're a small business, they're jumping because they're not secure that this is what they really want. So, this is a game changer for cart abandonment. It's a game changer for really any kind of business that, is selling something. In my opinion, if you're selling something more than $20 and it's worth it to you to talk to that customer, to build a lifelong customer, you need to talk to them right away.
So in Shopify, what are like the top 3 things that you could do now to reduce cart abandonment rate?
One is certainly, trying to collect a phone number so you can follow up with the person. Mm-hmm. So, having that phone number in your checkout form and kind of having that express consent that you can follow up with the person. So if you got their phone number and then they jumped, you have a way of getting back to them. The other is making that checkout process as easy as possible. I mean, if I, as a personal shopper, if I have to go through a bunch of hoops in a shopping cart and go back to pages and check things, if it's not a seamless experience, once it becomes annoying to me, I'm gone and I'm looking at Amazon to see if they have the same product, because I know I'm going to get it in a couple of days.
And then number 3?
Number 3 is really, I would say, email follow-up is so critical as well. Mm-hmm. I think, if you have that contact information, you need to follow up with that person, maybe offer them a discount. You're sorry they left, but you really want them as a customer, and, come back and we'll give you a 10% discount.
And then I really see that such a trend, small businesses are trying to establish some sort of shopping cart experience on their websites. And to be able to have your tool to complement that process, or hold their hand, or to check on them during that moment when they're actually almost committed. You think about what it takes to get someone to your website, to decide on a product, to start to go through the identification process, get out my credit card, and then I'm about to buy, and then I go, no, I'm out. Oh my gosh, that took a lot of effort to get someone there.
Yeah, I've been battling digital marketers for a decade now, because digital marketers and e-commerce especially, people think of every way possible to get someone to a website and try and convert them through automation and technology and website design. And they'll do anything and everything to not have to talk to someone. And the amount of money that gets wasted and spent is probably trillions of dollars a year on digital marketing, where if you just give that person human connection, you will close them. And again, like I I fight this battle every day, in our contact center business. Always the digital marketing guys, their domain is the website for the college or the university. And they don't want this little thing popping up. They've spent a year on this beautiful design. And bam, when we do it, the higher ups immediately are like, oh my God, this is something that we need to spend money on. And I'll tell you a really interesting fact about live chat. And this just happened to me. So for years, I've been begging to our contact center managers that we need to get pictures of people in this little live chat widget.
Mm-hmm.
And so I actually fired someone because he wasn't able to make that move. Okay. And I was doing research. I have tons of data, millions and millions of live chats for these colleges and universities. And we would always be arguing with, the look and design of that chat widget that we call it. And we have this one client, I'm not going to mention any names, who gets more chats per website visitors than any of our other clients. And would you believe it, Steve? They have the ugliest chat widget of all of our customers, but it's got a big picture of someone that says, I'm here to help you. So I know that it's that picture that's driving the people. So finally, just this month, we got everyone converted over to having pictures of people on their live chat widget. Our revenue is up 20% this month. And that's a giant number in our contact center business. When I made the switch, because I wanted to test it on our own TextChat.com website, we started getting 800% more chats because we put pictures of ourselves there as opposed to just some, digital cool looking thing. It didn't matter. Put a picture of a person, people click on pictures, and you probably have, that experience in your digital marketing. We want human connection. We crave it. And everyone in the digital world is fighting against it.
I know and it's like, I've even gone to a chat and the first question I ask, are you a robot or are you a human?
Yeah. You don't want to waste your time with a robot right now. You want a real answer.
Yeah. So I've envisioned that the future of websites would be that they're not really websites. They're just a big interactive human chatbot.
Absolutely. We have, we're adding Facebook Messenger and all these other channels. So even when you come in the other channels, but the next thing we're going to add is video. I've sold someone through textchat.com. We don't have video yet,
right?
But guy comes on, I see he's in Westlake, California. He's an insurance broker. He's looking for live chat. He didn't understand something. He says to me, can we get on a Zoom right now?
Yeah.
And you can explain this to me.
Yeah.
I have the Zoom app on my phone. I click a link. I send it to him through the text chat. Here's a total stranger who wasn't going to give me any information. And I'm having a Zoom conversation with the person in 3 minutes. And of course he bought it.
I've coached like garage repair folks and stuff. Here's how the conversation goes. They go to the website. My garage is broke. So I go look for a garage repair. I get on a website. I either call them or I fill out a form. And how nice would it be to just do a text and then that person go, well, walk out in the garage and let's turn FaceTime on and turn your camera around and show me what's broken. Can you imagine how
that
nice
is the future? It's starting to happen slowly. Just like I said, text messaging has been around for 20 years. All of a sudden, it's the new, oh my God, you got to have this for my e-commerce site, which it really isn't. It's a great tool, but it's not everyone wants to give their phone number. So yes, it's going to be live human interaction. I mean, like that Forbes article, customer support is the new flagship store. So yeah, it's going to be chat with us, go to video. Let me show you exactly how that looks. I can walk around the car showroom. I can walk around the store and pick up, a blouse and say, here's how it looks. That's the future. And frankly, when coronavirus first hit, we saved a lot of straight retail businesses business. And, they calling me in tears saying, you're saving our business. They didn't even have e-commerce stores. But when people went to their website, they could start a chat via text chat and still have a conversation and go to the FaceTime and still sell them. Like literally, they weren't even e-commerce enabled and they were still making sales from their website.
You've been listening or you're watching the ROI Online Podcast. Our guest is Eric Kades. His company is TextChat.com. And his mission is to help humans connect remotely to humans to improve business. And so our exclusive question that's on our YouTube channel is how to make sales and tech support. You can go there and listen to how Eric coaches you on how you can make sales right there via tech support online. And Eric, so I always like to ask, what's one question that we didn't talk about that you would love to, what's one question I didn't ask that you'd love to answer?
I think the answer is, again, back to this AI and explaining a little bit more about this natural language processing and machine learning. When people talk about AI on your website, you're not talking about AI to solve a cancer problem. They're talking about natural language processing and machine learning. So if there's anything that any of the listeners take away from today, those are the two technologies that you need to educate yourself on if you want to have AI on your website.
So natural language processing is we ask the same questions in all sorts of different ways. Humans, they'll use different words for different terms, but they're asking the same thematic request, or they're searching for a themed version of a question, looking for a solution. And natural language processing takes all of our accents, all of our ways that we ask, and starts to discern, and over time gets better at going, oh, what Eric's asking is this. And then machine learning is like having a whole category or curated library of content that can quickly connect you with exactly the information that you need to research for that solution, right?
That's exactly right. And another good takeaway is if you're going to go down that path, you need someone to be, there's still human involvement.
Yeah.
You need someone to be monitoring the failures every day. So you're constantly tuning it. It's a never-ending process, just like building your website and getting it to convert better. You have to be constantly checking where it fails. And if you're really not going to either have an outsourced company or someone that's focusing on that on a daily basis, you're going to fail at it.
Yeah. It requires billions of interactions for this super intelligent technology to actually get a clue. And that's the dilemma, is that small businesses don't have billions of opportunities to collect data and process it.
It is. And small businesses can win by having a human answer the questions. Yeah.
That's perfect bow to put on this conversation. Eric, you've been a great guest. How can folks connect with you to learn more or maybe see about getting this solution on their platform?
Just go to textchat.com. You can sign up for a free trial for 14 days. And literally right there, you get your line of code, you put in your name and email and phone number, and you're ready to go. It's that easy.
All right. Excellent. Eric, thanks for being on the ROI Online Podcast.
Thanks for having me, Steve. It was a lot of fun.
And that's a wrap.